Awesome. So we're back. We have ourselves a game of Dota 2. We have Quantic Gaming taking on Duza Gaming. I say Quantic, but also mean Flip.sid3 Mousepors, because it's not just clear yet who they are going to be representing. But that's okay. We're going to be having one game between these two teams, and of course I will not be by myself. We have got 3 people here, including myself. But the first one is a person that you will not hear, will not see, but you'll see what he does. It is Nahaz, who'll be your in-game stats person. And of course the person that you will hear is my co-caster. Welcome back, Vickerman.
Good to be back, Shira. How was the vacation?
It was good. I did tons of different stuff, like first sorority, then family. Saw everybody, everything, and I'm back.
Nice.
I saw that I missed some nice games of Dota, not all from StarSeries, but I'm planning to watch some replays.
Oh yeah, there was a pretty insane WePlay game yesterday.
I heard.
Really good.
I saw the tweets and everybody was crazy, so I got some, you know, I guess I got some spoilers, but I'm still gonna watch it, so that's gonna be good. And there are 6 games
still
today.
worth watching.
Yeah. 6
there
games.
are 6 games.
So tons of
the
games
last
to
one's
get back
a doozy
into.
too.
I know. I was in the chat very early and someone said, well, do we have to really wait for the last game? Like, you know, takes such a long time to wait for KP Alliance. So I made the comparison to, you know, a 6-course meal. With KP Alliance being the dessert and this being like a bit of the appetizer, like one of the few appetizers that we have.
Right.
Pretty good appetizers though, because Duza has been doing incredibly well. So far Doom has not been banned out yet, so I think they're going to be happy with that. And Quantic has of course been doing really well as well. Even though we don't really know yet who they're going to represent. As a team they have been doing really solid. So I'm kind of curious to see how they'll do here. They already got themselves an IO, which is great for them. We also got an Abandoned banned out together with a Visage and a Darkseer. Bad Rider of course removed. But Quantic, an IO, we'll see what they get with that. And I will say that the stream is back up. Stream.
Yeah, IO is a hero that we don't typically see make it through ban phase. When we do, sometimes you can take things like Chaos Knight with it. Of course, Quantic famously kind of crashed out of the International 3 on IO Chaos Knight, where Rattlesnake kept baiting them into the pick and just punishing it again and again.
Yeah.
That said, that doesn't mean it's not strong. It's about I think Chaos Knight is much better with IO, obviously, than he is without. It's like a 60% win rate. And I still think it's a strong combination, even if it has been reduced in effectiveness in some ways by various changes and just getting eclipsed. I mean, just at baseline, IO is such a strong hero and forces you to play such a different game to counteract it, that I think Quantic are more than happy to take that.
Yeah, I have to say it looks strong. Duza is a team that has been letting IO through almost every single game that I've seen of them. So they have a plan, they've won some games, so obviously it works out. But most of the time that they actually won, they did have that Doom up against the IO, so we'll see if they get a chance here. I mean, they definitely have a chance here, seeing that Quantic did not ban out the Doom, they banned out the Weaver and the Naga Siren, and Duza now having the chance to ban a hero and then pick one. They can still pick up the Doom, and I think they want to. OD, of course, the hero that Legion then plays, and we're gonna see what they are gonna ban out before we're moving on. I'm expecting maybe a support. Depends really if they want to go for an aggressive trial or not. There's not really a team that normally does that though. So we'll find out. Maybe some strong mid that, or like Razor. I mean Razor, never mind. I was gonna say Razor. I already did half. But yeah, he's strong up against the OD, so that's a good one to remove from the pool.
Yeah. I think Razor, unless they were planning to pick him, which I wouldn't necessarily think would be that great in this situation, just because Razor's pretty easy to kill with that CK-IO combo, and he can be held off of his items, so I wouldn't really think that would be very strong. So they ban it out, which is the right decision, and now here they sort of have to decide what they want to fill out with. I do think Doom fits in here pretty well, actually, but we'll see if Duza leap for it. It has been a hero that they basically lean on a lot. Tiny wouldn't necessarily be bad either, which is the other sort of carry hero that maybe is a little unusual, that Duza run with a lot. Meanwhile, yeah, Quantic...
yeah,
it's like it, that's funny.
It's a step back in time, slightly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Quantic was, of course, the team that picked 3 and most, but mostly when Quantic was actually there. I'm quite surprised. I think this is the first time that I see Duza go without a Doom, without it being banned out. And they're giving Quantic every opportunity to still do so. But as you say, I mean, Tiny has been picked up by them quite a couple of times as well. And oh my god, a Viper will be up against the OD this time. I like it. I like it a lot. Viper, Trey and Protector, pretty scary. Fada's Viper, also pretty scary sight. And I think it's going to be really strong for them. Duza, they don't really have any real, like, early to mid-game dominance, depending on how good of a start Timbersaw will have.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be very strong for Quantic. I'm kind of scared for Duza in the mid game here.
I think Duza there's definitely a scary period in the mid game. It relies upon Quantic, so they can't strike out with the CKIO. Like pretty much, as soon as IO hits 6, and IO should hit 6 in a pretty good timing, they're gonna have to do a lot to make that combo, to ensure that that combo actually generates kills. Now, if they do, as long as every 60 seconds or what have you, IO is able to bring CK to a spot, sorry, every 90 seconds at level 1, IO is able to bring CK to a spot where they can get a kill or two, I think Quantic probably roll the game, because certainly Viper is a good laner against OD. The reason we don't see him more often is simply because it's one thing to lane, and it's another thing to actually have something to offer to a game after the lane phase. And that's where Viper really struggles, where even with a decent start, Viper his spells are not tremendously impressive. Like, there's been this steady creeping power level of the spells for carries. So a lot of the popular carries in the game right now are carries with amazing, like, their spell quality is really good. Duza picks Slark, by the way, which is actually pretty smart because he can get away from an IOCK gank very easily. I think that's the theory there, is to make sure that not only is he able to flip the pressure onto Quantic and maybe even get kills on IO and Treant, but also get away from the relocate ganks. Because now they have Timbersaw and Slark, who are both very difficult to actually bring down with that teleport. OD is very easy to bring down, but they only have one of their 3 core heroes who's really that vulnerable. But sorry, just to finish the thought about Viper, like, compare Viper to a hero like Gyrocopter or a hero like Alchemist, where he doesn't have a good stun. Like, Alchemist has an amazing stun, one of the best ones in the game. He doesn't have really good AoE damage. He's just sort of a, a flying green dude. But he's a good laning flying green dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's nothing wrong with being a flying green dude. I mean, OD is a flying green dude. Yeah? Well,
OD is like a kitten wearing armor, right? But yeah, that's true. OD does have some green to him. Viper is due for a model update, I think. Isn't he one of the ones that's getting a refurbishing, like
just
Storm
like
Spirit,
Venomancer, yeah.
Yeah, and Storm.
And Storm as well, you're right. I'm kind of curious to see how Duza is going to play this. Like, who is going to be playing the Slark? Is he going to be mid? Is this going to be Duza's way of, like, baiting Quantic into putting Viper mid or something else? And now Viper against Slark? I mean, you said Viper's a strong laning phase. Up against Slark, a little less strong, I would believe. Slark also able to be maybe a bit more aggressive there and steal some stats, of course, from the Viper. I think it's pretty decent. Maybe an OD safe lane because of that, but we'll see. They have got both options open, at least. And I think we'll only know once they actually pick up their heroes. We have got Quantic for the first time actually ticking into their bonus time for quite a bit, and they end up going with the Bounty Hunter, so they are just full on mid game. If they don't make their ganking lineup work, Duza is going to be having a good time. But if they do make it work, there's very little possibilities for Duza to actually get back into that game, because there is so much gold coming their way then, with track kills and relocates. Good luck, Duza, trying to avoid that.
Yeah, I actually like the Bounty Hunter a great deal. I think that it's the correct choice here. There's no reason for Quantic to hedge their bets at this point and try to go for an off-laner who's going to be more late-game oriented or even push-oriented. Because then you could sort of fatally dilute your team if you're like, oh, we picked this strategy with the first 2 or 3 or 4 picks, and now let's hedge. Sometimes it's the right call, but with something like this, if the game, like, if they really let it drag on, or they, like, lose control of the game, whatever offlaner they pick is not going to mitigate that. But what Bounty Hunter does is, as you said, let them really just sort of take a stepladder over Duza if they have a decent early game, which, honestly, I do like Quantic's lineup a bit better. So I think they have a little more capacity just based on the picks alone. Yeah. But it is going to depend on the execution level of the IO-CK combo, really.
Yeah, and how much opportunities they actually have, and of course how much opportunities Duza gives them. Because we know that they are comfortable facing IO, so you would expect them to have some kind of plan. For now, they are looking to run an aggressive trial up against IO-CK, which is of course a very strong choice, because you basically deny some farming experience, so you're delaying the laning phase, you're delaying the phase that IO reaches level 6, and that they are indeed going to be able to jump all over the map. So if they have a successful lane... By the way, this Rubik set, I'm not sure what I think of it. Oh, it's mythical. The hell? Mythical. Anyways,
just
kind of awkward.
Well, no, just the staff is mythical.
Maybe he has only one eye. I didn't see the head yet, I think.
Yeah, it's a Cyclopean Rubik set. It's kind of interesting, I think.
We have a disconnect.
Of course, the Rubik set that everybody should get is the Star Ladder, the Resonant Vibrance set to support esports and this tournament.
And to have awesome Gladiator set, I mean, he kind of looks badass.
It is a pretty cool set, honestly. I just unlocked the second phase of it.
Nice.
I think it's at 50 views or something.
Nice. You get free views from being. Do you actually get views from being a caster?
You get views from casting a game. Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, I like this aggressive trial, and I think it's a good choice for Duza to have this going for them, because they need something to work up against the IO, and to perhaps force out living armors on the top lane, so that the mid lane doesn't have too much issues with it. I do kind of, I'm curious. I mean, MLB the Best has rotated to be the mid lane, and we have actually Legion on the bottom lane. Normally we have it the other way around. I'm curious to see how MLB the Best does this, because I'm not too convinced yet about him and about his laning phase, mostly.
Really?
Yeah, after that he's fine.
Good off-laner, but he did miss the creep block pretty badly, so maybe you're right. He starts in a pretty poor position relative to Fada, and of course Fada, a player that's so high level that you don't want to start. Honestly, OD, the nice thing is he's on OD, right? It's a hero that's pretty foolproof. Like, he's not going to do horribly. He might get killed if Fada's very, very careful, but he should be able to last it okay. And Slark, on the other hand, is a hero that's incredibly fiddly and very tough to play at a high level, in my opinion. To the point where even when a lot of pro teams were picking him in the Western qualifiers of TI3, I'm not gonna say they were playing him wrong, but there was like a lot of optimization that they weren't having access to. So Slark is a tricky hero. OD is honestly like not that tricky of a hero, so I think that's some of the rationale. The other thing I wanted to talk about is actually I really like this Duza tri-lane. Even though it's built around Timbersaw, so you really don't want Timbersaw to be starved on levels, I like the theory of, hey, we're laning against 3 strength heroes. Let's put our Timbersaw here, and let's protect him enough that he actually will be able to consistently use that Whirling Death. So this, in my opinion, is trouble for Quantic, and this is when we're really going to see if Mania and fucking Mad can use these heroes who really don't bring that much lane presence to still win the lane. Because if Treant stays really under level, a level 1 Treant is much weaker now than he was before he got the nerf.
Yeah, that living armor only having 4 instances, and we already saw it being forced out on fucking Mad himself. Had to use living armor for himself, and that allowed Duza to harass Fada a bit in the mid lane. So I think, yeah, I really like it. It's the one thing that you can do to, pounce on the bottom lane. Nah, it goes invisible. Legion doesn't have any detection, so won't be able to get a kill just yet. Let's just... Oh, wait a second, top lane. I was gonna say let's introduce the players, but it looks like we're gonna be maybe too late, at least for the first blood on Sable. In a lot of trouble here. Tries to run for it. Will end up going down. Mania with the first blood, but also Shoxka goes down. Limbo gets himself a kill. Mania in trouble as well. Tries to tether himself up, but goes down 2 for 1.
Whirling Death hitting on almost everybody each time he casts it. He did take the 1 rank of reactive armor. I actually would have preferred if he had just gone directly to the 2nd level Whirling Death, but I think it's a fine build, and overall I don't really think that trade favored Quantic that much. The IO is still stuck at level 1, Treant's at level 2. I mean, certainly it's true that the supports for Duza aren't doing that great either, but the lower level that the Treant and IO remain, the more easy it will be for Timbersaw to just, you know, timber them.
Yeah. I fully agree. I
saw them.
I kind of like the exchange. I mean, they don't necessarily need to 100% win the lane, but as long as they can slow down that IOCK combination, they're gonna have a Slark that's doing pretty well for himself. Actually, in terms of last hits, he is sitting on 12-0, only one level behind, or now actually even with Miguel and his Bounty Hunter, so Legion not really doing amazingly well, but he doesn't need that much to be able to dominate Nate. But Duza, I mean, they are on the Radiant side, they have a Neat Legion playing the Slark. In the mid lane we have got MIB the best playing the OD, and in the trial lane we already saw them just, of course, a moment ago. Unstable on the Rubik, Limbo on the Timbersaw, and Capron taking on the Jakiro.
Alright, and looking over towards the Dire, Quantic Gaming. Basically a team that's deciding between 3 potential sponsors, so definitely their pick of the litter there. But it'll be Sakshka playing as Kelevra on the Chaos Knight. He's supported by fucking Mad on the Treant Protector, and of course they're the 2 returning players from the old Quantic squad. Actually, Legion just got to pick off on... Sorry for interrupting you there, but he got to pick off on Bounty Hunter bottom.
He didn't interrupt me because I actually missed it. I think that's a kill that Legion in theory shouldn't have been able to get. I think that was just one Bounty Hunter being slightly cocky.
If you keep constantly pouncing and you have a good perspective of where he is, you can do a lot of harassment damage. And you can see that he actually didn't have any regen left, so I think it's a just good play by him mostly. So fucking Mad supporting top. Mania, who's in a bit of trouble but manages to tether away very well, is also in the top. Here in the middle, Fata with the DD rune. They're attacking it the best. This could be Miguel's level 6 off of this fight as well. He actually picks up the last hit credit on the Outworld Devourer, and that'll be Miguel only 1 creep away from hitting level 6. So they don't get a track, but Fata has been dominating this middle lane, by the way. 25 for 7. 8 for 8 for him at the best. And yeah, this is the great thing about Viper. He wins a lot of lane matchups, and he doesn't really fear the OD because he really doesn't care.
Oh, top lane, fucking Mad in some trouble. Tries to run from the Timbersaw, but it looks like Timbersaw might be getting himself a tree. Oh, the Timber Chain missed. In comes the tether. Fucking Mad is fine. Close though. I wasn't expecting the Timber Chain to miss. Just too short of a range.
Well, I don't think he was expecting the Timber Chain to miss.
True.
It's a very easy thing to just mess up slightly. Like, if you don't... The way to guarantee it is you have to click all the way on the tree. So if you sort of try to take shortcuts, occasionally things like that will happen. And yeah, unfortunately, that's a pretty... It's not the most important kill to miss, but they will be very regretful that they weren't able to pick up that AoE gold.
Yeah, next opportunity won't be long for a while as the lane was pulled back, and of course right now fucking Mad has got all the time in the world to living armor anybody who he wants. We do have level 6 up on the Bounty Hunter who rotated once again towards the middle lane and wants to have might be the best once again. He's still level 5. Has got an Astral Imprisonment of course, and actually realizes that Viper is diving, so that there is indeed something wrong, so good that he backs off.
Well, this is a serious problem because they're going to face a lot of internal pressure to rotate a support mid to ensure that the best actually gets levels, because being level 5.5 when Fata's 7 and even Miguel's ahead of you is really, really not good. And so they're really going to start thinking, okay, we have to probably send somebody over to help OD, but then if you send someone over, you've relieved all the pressure on this Quantic tri-lane. So yeah. Quantic definitely very happy with the potentiality of Fata to sort of force somebody away.
Yeah, we already see right now that Miguel's making his way top, and I mean, he really wants to put his new track into play. The supports are just too poor on the top lane to actually have placed some Centaur. Telekinesis will be there, fucking Mad might be in some trouble still. In comes Miguel though, and Unstable will be the target, but Treant goes down first. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off so far. Limbo, we're another whirling death. Mania goes down as well. In comes Legion with a pounce, goes for the Chaos Knight, gets the Chaos Knight. Double kill for Limbo and Miguel, the last one alive here on the top lane. It was 4 versus 4 in the end, and a 1-for-3 trade. Pretty insane for Duza. Favorable trade indeed.
Yeah, I mean, Duza are very tough to sort of try to just jump on. With Jakiro Timbersaw, who can lay down that AoE with the stun with the Ice Path, the dual breath, everything that they can do is very, very scary if you're Quantic. By the way, Fata gets picked off in the mid, again by Slark, so this is when Slark really comes into his own as a force. He's able to roam constantly, generate pressure in every lane, create space for mid the best, who's very low but should actually be fine, I think. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah. Leech Seed just on Unstable. They can have Rubik die a million times and they don't care because the trades they're going to get for it will nearly always be favorable as long as Slark is lurking around.
Yeah, I like Legion's positioning, as in just roaming around. This is the time for Slark to be super aggressive, and he's kind of low on mana, so that's why he rotates back and might be able to force some people back bottom to just relieve the other two lanes for a moment. Seems like it might be successful even. We have got Mania and Miguel hanging around level 7 and level 3. Io is still level 3. We're 8 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
And this is pretty scary for Quantic. They need to have that solid mid game and not lose too much before that actually happens. And for now, I mean, definitely Viper is doing well. Don't get me wrong. Also, of course, the Bounty Hunter is doing great. But the CK level 6, 12 last hits in total, and the IO just still level 3. That could be a problem.
Yeah, I do think that Quantic, in terms of drafting, and I meant to mention this, I think once they knew that they were going to run 2 strength supports and a strength carry in a tri-lane, probably ban Timbersaw. So, I mean, this tri-lane has... Oh, actually, Soxka's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
the Macropyre goes down as well.
They're gonna dive in for it. The stun not happening for long enough, and that's a kill. Capron takes it home. Fucking Mac coming in too late. Has got a lead sheet though, wants to go for Capron. In comes a ward, in comes Limbo, and he goes back, for the tree. Living armor is up, but with the chasing potential of Limbo, I think he should actually get this one. Oh, Maniac comes back as well. He might actually go down for the tethers towards the Fada. Fada looking for something himself. TP out for Capron though, that's not going to be doing anything. I mean, one of the biggest things that you can always do up against the Viper, just TP away.
TP away. It's completely true. He's not a good chaser. You can see that Fada actually got the power tread, so it's more of a carry approach to Viper. But again, yeah, he can't really chase.
Unless they actually run. If you run away, then you can chase.
Sorry, what's up?
Well, if you run away from a Viper, just actually running, then Viper can chase, of course, with the slow. But otherwise, you just TP yourself out.
Actually apply the slow.
By unstable.
Now, Io will help with that, and I think they easily get OD at least. Yeah, he loops around. OD was in a very unsafe place. He had to have known that there was a rotation coming. That was a bit of a mistake from Mid the Best. And there is Io, so the tether movement speed buff will be very, very useful for Viper, especially after he gets like a Yasha or something. And after that, I think Fada will be pretty difficult to get away from. If he has enough damage, he can just kill you while you're TPing. But that was overall really good for Duza again.
Yeah, they did lose 2 heroes just now, though. One, of course, on the top lane, where Rubik just got picked off. That's a very important kill for Quantic to get, because that puts Io almost to level 5. And at the same time, also, of course, their OD got picked up mid. As we have got a gank potential set up here. Miguel coming in from the back. Limbo is a target here. They really want him. That 4 versus 1. They don't get anything here. Nice Ice Path coming in from Capron. Macropyre as well up on 3. Still Limbo will end up going down, but Quantic does pay quite a bit of life for it. 5 heroes for just 1 Timbersaw. That's how important they found him. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely spent a lot of energy to make sure they got that Timbersaw kill, but I agree with them. I mean, his soul booster is done. If he comes away from... If they only spend like 2 or 3 heroes for that and he actually gets a kill, he may be able to even pick up his Ring of Health before that, so... interesting. But 9 games. Bounty Hunter is 8-1 against Slark. In this game so far, I think the Slark has done a little more, but they are starting to pick up track kills, which is very important for Quantic. And that's the thing, Slark is a hero who wants to snowball, but Bounty Hunter is a better hero for enabling the capacity of a team to snowball. That said, even with these deaths, I still feel like Duza are doing fine, and Quantic are doing one smart thing, which is that, well, they're doing a lot of smart things, but one thing that I like is giving Mania this free lane down here. Now that they're not really worried about him getting ganked, get him a little bit of free XP and try to move him closer to level 6.
In the meantime, we have got Slark. Legion, he finished up his Shadow Blade, so that will put him in a bit more aggressive position. As Miguel's already in the mid lane, he wants to go for it, might be the best, but Legion very close by. Oh, the dust get popped and the pounds hits! Miguel in a lot of trouble. Miguel, you are gonna go down if you're not careful. Tries to run for it, in comes his time as he's Eclipse. MIB. He was done playing, gets himself a kill.
Not necessary, they probably could have leaped him to death.
Probably.
It's okay. I mean, they really wanted to ensure the kill.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry, and I guess MIB really could use that one because he still is. Ooh, whoa, the stun still flying. 3 seconds, Limbo in a bit of trouble. In comes also the Viper Strike. Tries to Timber Chain and TP himself out. Will he be making it? No, he won't be making it. Fada with a kill. Capron, Reality Rift, not yet over. Unstable standing. Unstable, slightly AFK. Pause instantly comes out. He disconnected. Oh my god, the timing couldn't be worse.
It couldn't. You said it was AFK.
Well, it looked like he was AFK. He was just standing there while his teammates got reality rifted.
I don't think that he left his keyboard in the middle of a game, but unfortunately, yeah, he disconnects. Not good timing. I don't think they could have avoided the Timbersaw death in any way. He was just really way out of position against Viper, who can do a lot of damage in a pretty short time. So that was definitely a mistake. At least it wasn't a track kill, but with 2 deaths all of a sudden on Timbersaw, he's made no progress towards his Bloodstone over the last 2 minutes. Definitely not something that Duza are going to be happy about. Not fatal yet, but a big loss. And Jakiro, he's going to die. Rubik might die. I think the main difference between Rubik being offline and online is that Rubik might die, whereas if he was online, I think he definitely wouldn't have died. I mean, the issue is that Fada's starting to get pretty big. He's going to move towards BKB. Once he has that, they have almost nothing to actually deal with that in the short term. So it's going to become very important for Duza to try to put some kills on this Viper.
Maybe we're going to see Quantic saying... Maybe Quantic is going to be gentlemanly-like and just leaves Unstable alive and just kills off Capron backs off.
I don't think they should do that. The main punishing tool that Duza have is to get Timbersaw, and he doesn't have money to buy back, and I think Quantic know that he does. Oh, he actually does have money to buy back, but he doesn't have money to buy back in TP.
Ah. Well, we have a go
So
again.
I think they should absolutely dive and take the kill on Rubik. It'll be more money for Fata. Yeah, he's gonna die.
Yeah, telekinesis is still there. Unstable gets reality of the dome, goes down still. In comes Legion with the pause, goes for Fata. Pops a shadow dance, no detection. They can't chase him down, but the region is there, and that's gonna be Fata living and Legion not getting a kill.
Yeah,
Pops the shadow blade though. Ooh, relocate goes mid. Astral imprisonment will keep OD safe for a little while longer, but he will end up going down as Slark still is able to pick up the Chaos Knight who got left alone in the top lane. And he is going to actually wait for Mania to come back. He really wants him. He gets him. That's a double kill for Legion. And actually, that might be a decent trade for Duza to make. OD, who was not doing that well anyway, for a CK and an IO that will definitely not have as important presence on the map as you might think that they would have.
I don't like the trade. I get what you're saying, Shiver. The only thing I would say is that OD is their mech carrier and is nowhere near Mechanism. Like, he still has 900 to go. He can get Headdress. To lose OD is painful, and to only get people who aren't Viper in exchange is also painful. I think Legion made really good decisions. Everything he did was, in my opinion, completely correct. But with IO there, it was going to be very difficult to kill Viper, and right now, the problem that they need to solve is the Viper problem, because now he's only 800 off of his BKB.
Yeah, that's gonna be a scary Viper for sure. Limbo in the meantime still farming. He still really wants to have, of course, his soul booster. Or rather his Bloodstone, because he already has a soul booster, and Jokska won't be reality drifting here. I mean, there's the supports again. And one thing about these supports, I mean, we have got Capron level 8, so he's doing really well. Unstable, however, he's still sitting at level 5, so can't steal any spells just yet. He's the same level actually as a Treant Protector, as we have got Mania's level 7, so supports are fairly even in terms of levels. And actually, look at that. Quantic just completely backs off. They don't have any wards here on the top lane, but they are missing so many heroes on the map that they don't want to risk anything. Middle tower ends up going down.
And they know that they can trade at worst, I think. I think Quantic can probably take this tier 1 as soon as they get the next group wave. You can see Miguel's actually pulling it away.
Oh, look at that one. 3 seconds stun still there, but the pound's already there. In comes the Sentry Ward. They might try to take him down. Reality Rift is there. Legion in some trouble now. For the first time, he still is able to get himself a kill, and the Shadow Blades the dust off and runs. Well, he dark packs well, he runs out of range of the ward, actually. That was all. He's safe. He got a kill and he runs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great play from Legion. Overall, that trade slightly favors Duza. I mean, certainly IO in a tower for a tower and nothing. But the reason I say slightly is I still think it's mitigated by the fact that there's no control over Viper, who now has, I think, BKB done? Yeah. So, I think Quantic right now, even with how poorly CK and IO have been doing relative to how you'd expect them to do, they're just gonna push with Viper, and I don't know what Duza does exactly.
They don't really have that much disable either that they can actually really shut down the Viper with. Okapron, you're gonna be so dead in just a moment. Down he goes. It looks like the rest is just gonna get themselves out of there. Limbo just hanging around for a little while longer. And the relocate is there, but they went back to where they came from, I guess. Yep, there they go. Well, Capron just slightly out of position. Was he trying to plant some wards? I guess he was.
Yeah, he was. He was warding. It's not fatal for Jakir to die. It's at this point the main problem that Duza have is that Quantic have 5 outer towers up, and Duza just hit like a really rocky patch. Like if they try to push a tower, Fata TP's in, BKBs, you get CKIO relocating on the back of your team. I'm just not exactly sure what you do. You could you end up probably trading, you probably kill IO again, you kill CK, maybe you kill Bounty Hunter, but Viper gets 2 or 3 kills, both of them are tracked.
Fucking Mad's gonna be so dead here, or at least maybe Legion still got slowed. Fucking Mad lives. Nicely done. Legion was waiting on the high ground for him. Now finds Miguel, but Miguel gets away. He's invisible. There's no gem yet up on either side, which I'm gonna expect quite soon. They're actually gonna try to fight this. Astro Imprisonment on the tree, so no overgrowth just let. They go for Shucks. Got telekinesis. Their side of TC Clip's already dropped, but Fada turns on his BKB. Capron, first target, Capron down. Looking for the next one. Legion jumps himself away. MIB is still getting slowed. 4-second stun. That is gonna be no mercy from the RNG gods. He's still alive though, and it's actually Chaos Knight that drops. Astro Imprisonment keeps him safe as well, and Io goes down. Fada still alive in this together with the Bounty Hunter, but he does not get anything else apart from the Jakiro Miguel. Still getting chased, pounced, killed. 4 for 1. In the end, Duza. Nice control from them.
Yes. It was actually, I'm really impressed by Duza's play there, especially trying to move, shifting the positioning of the fight just enough that Viper wasn't able to effectively get around and remain on target for long enough, like especially the Slark and the Timbersaw. I actually think Duza played that nearly pitch perfectly. Like, I was just talking about this fight, like a minute ago, and I was like, sure, Duza can try to take a fight, but they can kill CKIO Bounty Hunter, but Viper can get 3 kills or more. So I was wrong, because Fata, he comes in, he BKBs, he doesn't manage to find the kills because of very canny positioning from Duza, and the fact that Io goes down so quickly means he's Fata in trouble now. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Legion 4-second stun. Astro Imprisonment holds him safe for a little bit longer, but he is still tracked. He will still die. And the BKB turned on for Fata again. Not over just yet. Nice. Overgrowth stolen by Unstable. Helps out his team. Maybe slightly. Unstable will still go down. That's another track kill added to the board for Quantic. That's 2 track kills. In goes Limbo. Gets himself out of there. We have a buyback from Slark. Ice Path up on the CK, and Slark coming back in, but he's not going to be fast enough. Oh, with that Astro Imprisonment, he sure is going to be fast enough. If he wants to go in, he can. He goes, and Chaos Knight reared red stars all over the place, and that is going to be Io relocating the CK back to safety. Did you see those red pluses?
Yeah. It's the graphics are bugging out. When they come back, I don't know.
Oh, he leaves the CK out. CK TP's back right now though, but Io already dead. Legion still getting stunned up for 2 seconds. Astro Imprisonment once again there. Is it gonna be enough though? Will he die again? That would be such a big blow. Oh, bounces away. Still gets a lot of damage. Mechanism will try to help out. Second word goes down. Fucking Matt really wants him. He gets him as well. The tree with the hits. MIB will be the next target. Another track kill. If this is indeed a kill, it is. And that's at least 4 track kills. In the last couple of minutes, we also have the Treant still going down. He buys back though for the living armor up on Chaos Knight. Helps him out walking through some flames. 3-second stun up on the Timbersaw. Another BKB pop. This is a 3rd BKB charge in one fight. Gets himself a double kill with it. Now goes for Limbo. Limbo is still able to at least kill off the CK, but now gets Overgrowth once again. And will end up suiciding for the good cause.
I still get to feel smug about calling it, because the second and third fight there went exactly that way. Like they can put some kills on the board, but if their positioning isn't impeccable like it was at the tier 1 mid, they have no chance to stop the BKB Viper from killing and killing and killing. And Legion in that fight, at the beginning of that fight, he has 2,200 banked gold. He ends it with 200 because he spends for a buyback and an Ogre Club.
And he buys
even BKB, I don't really see it changing the course of the game for Slark. I think BKB is the right call, but I don't know. The only nice thing is that they used 3 charges of Fata's BKB.
Yeah.
But they didn't even get the tier 1 tower out of that. Like, how costly was that? That last trade was 3 for 6, including a buyback.
And how many of those 6 were track kills? Because at least 4. If not more.
All but one. All but one were track kills.
It's quite insane. Oh, they find Legion. Stun is already there. He does get Astro Imprisoned. Will be safe for a little while longer. Nice! Ice Bath Macropire. IO drops. Legion, invisible, but the ward is there. They try to catch him. In comes a chakram, down goes the tree and protector. Another dust. Miguel gets himself the Slark. That's the third time he died within minutes. Those were actually his only 3 kills of the game. Limbo in some trouble still, gets himself the CK. I feel like I'm a repeating record because he does that again. CK just runs in to die. Feels like the second time. Timber looking for more. Can't find any though. Fada still only died 1 time. Is already back up to 3,800 gold after those 4 team fights right now within a couple of minutes. More tracks, unstable. He's got that telekinesis. Oh, he walked through his sentry though. You're so dead, maybe. As for imprisonment, not there to save his life, but at least he trades it with a bounty hunter, ending up being an okay-ish trade. I say ish because there was still a track kill. TP's himself out from the Timber. Nicely done.
I think Timber did suicide in the last fight, by the way, because I see his pocket suicide as a cooldown, so that's nice of him. He's back up to 11 charges. That fight was actually immensely important for Limbo. Really ramped up where he's sitting at. Now he's about halfway to the Shivas. Okay, he's a little under halfway, but he's about 45% of the way. And that Shivas is going to be really, really nice. Hit that on CK, Bounty Hunter, Viper. Especially as Viper's BKB ticks down to nothingness, you'll be able to really slow down the capacity of Quantic to position the fight the way they want. I actually think that fight was way better for Duza than the last one went, but it's still that this Slark just hit the enormous brick wall of sustainability for this hero, and I mean, Duza are still in a really, really scary position. This Viper is still like... Alright, well, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, OD is all by his lonesome. What's he gonna try to do? He can't TP out because he doesn't have a TP scroll. Maybe someone comes to help him though. He still has a mech charge, can use it. Another Astral Imprisonment in 4 seconds, but I don't think he'll make it. Down he goes. In comes a TP from Limbo. Pounce up on Fada. He still has his BKB though. He'll use it to get himself out of there. Maybe that was enough already, but Limbo, he hasn't had enough just yet. Wants to go for fucking mad. Can he get it? In comes Miguel. The Drag's still up on the Slark. Down goes the tree. Legion though, still chasing. Wants to really go for something else, but oh, Miguel. They still don't have detection for him, so he gets himself out safe in the end. 1-for-1 trade, favorable for Quantic, of course, by it being a track kill as well as just a support for a solo mid.
Yeah, they need this force staff so badly for OD. I'm actually surprised that he didn't buy the Ring of Health before he died. He's holding money to buy TP when he comes back up, but even so, they need to get him to force staff so badly.
Yeah, you're a Skype.
But I mean, honestly, any fight that Timbersaw comes away from with a kill is not bad either, because he gets closer to Shivas.
Okay. Well, it sounded better there again. Your Skype was cutting for a second there, but it seems to be okay again. So that's all fine. We still don't have the tier 1 tower mid down, by the way, and of course with living armor it's going to be even tougher, but they have been fighting here for quite some time in the mid lane. Still don't get the tower for it. That's quite troublesome. We do have Duza after picking up the tier 1 bottom. They smoke up and they go actually for the bottom lane. Not something that Quantic is expecting because they leave Fada by himself. This could be a kill.
Fada. Yeah. Oh my god, if they catch Fada, this would be so important. Fada's on like a Beyond God. He's one away from a Beyond Godlike streak. Here they go. But this is actually going to be a full-scale team fight. I'm not sure they're ready for this, especially once he gets the DD.
They don't have the wards.
Yeah, they peel off. Smart.
You never know.
Fata has a full MKB coming, I think.
Yeah, he has.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, look at Capron's positioning. You realize someone is there. But there's nobody close. He has got a sentry ward just in case, but Bounty Hunter nowhere close just yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't think they're in a position where a big push like this is going to pay off.
They're gonna try.
Yeah, but they can really punish them. This is really scary. Maybe if they catch Miguel as he comes in and kill him, and then everybody focuses Fata. I don't know. I'm scared for Duza.
Well, we're gonna see. Fada is the first one to go in. He tries to scare them off, slowing down Capron. In comes an Ice Path, so hits up on Fada, and on CKIO as well. BKB gets turned on. Macropyre there as well. Limbo already taking most of the hit, and will end up able to Timber chain himself away. Fucking Mad ends up going down first of everybody. Down goes the IO as well shortly after. Fada still in this, but his BKB already on cooldown. Tracks everywhere, by the way. And that also means tracks up on everybody of Quantic, because Unstable able to steal the track. That's gonna be CK getting himself out safe. We already still have Jakiro going down. Can Duza get track kills? Yes, they can. A track kill up on Fada, and there's only one hero left alive on the side of Quantic. It is the Chaos Knight. He runs himself home with his BKB about finished, but that's a 4-for-2 trade, including track kills for Duza.
Was it a 4 for 2 trade? Yeah, I guess it was. And no. Timbersaw died too, so it was at least 4 for 3. Timbersaw just has a short respawn time because the blood's dead. They were able to keep Limbo alive just long enough that it wasted. So the difference between Limbo immediately dying and the way he died. Oh, nice relocate.
Can they find
Maybe
Limbo
they get him
again? 2 seconds stun. Is that enough? He can Timber chain himself away in just a second. Runs for it.
Fine.
In comes another reality rift. Io has to be careful here too. You see him sticking away. He's gonna go home, leaving the CK by himself because in comes fucking Matt. Only 2 seconds stun again. Need to have some extra luck, and this is all of a sudden a bit troublesome. The overgrowth already missed, and Limbo, he goes back in. He really wants to get the CK. Ice Path comes in as well, stopping fucking Matt from TPing out. They change targets. Maybe now go for the tree. They get him as well. Centaur drop for that. That's a chase that cost them a tree.
By the way, Nature's Guys, that OP ability just completely countered by Timbersaw, right? Like, he could just cut down the tree that you're hiding near.
True. True
Oh
indeed.
man, I can't believe they would put such a hard counter to such a strong ability. I mean, I understand Nature's Guys is pretty overpowered, but it's just unreasonable how much Timbersaw counters that extremely strong ability.
And on top of that, there's already a bounty hunter in the game of Quantic, so there's already going to be detection on the support. So Centaur did get dropped. I mean, Jakiro had one anyway for the bounty hunter, of course. So pretty neat there for Duza. Also, of course, I mean, the whole chase came for Quantic, so a lot of time wasted, a relocate wasted, and a tree dying. That's a big deal for Duza, who, by the way, still have track up on unstable. That could allow them for some more aggression.
Is extremely useful, and I just want to talk about that last team fight again, because so Quantic had the exact right idea, which is to focus the Timbersaw and take away the tremendous amount of AoE damage, and then you're fighting a bunch of really crappy auto-attackers, like a mediocre auto-attacking Slark. I mean, you saw even like Rubik was like having to like throw his staff out a lot and try to do damage as he could during that last team fight, but all that's fine because Timbersaw was able to get to here on the map and live for just long enough to get 1 extra Timber Chain, like 3 extra seconds of Chakram, in addition to wasting a lot of Quantic's time to funnel themselves into this narrow choke point and try to kill him here. So it wasted a lot of Quantic's time, it wasted a lot of their effort, and it positioned them closer to Duza, which let the fight drag on to a long enough extent that they were able to clean up. And most importantly, the kill on Fata to just stop him in any way at all. I mean, they got... what was the bounty on him? It was something like 850. So it was a lot of gold for Slark to actually kill Fata.
Yeah, and on top of that, of course, I mean, he used his BKB charge before it was actually needed, before people were actually focusing on him. So his BKB is now down to 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And how long has he had it for?
Usage... What's up?
How long has he had his BKB for?
Oh, for ages. Like, well, then again, this game's been very fast-paced, so I guess like 13 minutes.
Well, it's pretty fast. BKB charge is gone.
Pretty fast BKB, but he's definitely been chaining every single charge. Because they've just been team fight.
Very true. We might have Quantic trying to flank Duza here, by the way, coming from 2 locations, actually from 3 locations if Miguel comes from the front.
Yeah.
We have the BKB ready on the CK.
I mean, yeah, and they still can't push, that's the thing.
Oh, reality rift. Duza though, he's fine. Telekinesis. There might be some trouble there for the... No, for the Chaos Knight, he's fine. Double damage shoot up on Fata. Pretty scary. Fata, who now is carrying the gem, by the way.
Yeah, I honestly don't really think you can... Oh, nice.
4 seconds.
Away, but it's a 4 second stun.
Well, they keep him safe. The track goes on. Reality rift still there. Do they have another stun? 3 seconds forward. As for Imprisonment will be there first. Dual breath. In comes the Sanity's Eclipse. Doesn't really do that much. But we do have a nice ice path though. Macro Pyro there as well. MIB already getting himself out of there. Miguel getting tracked up, tries to run for it. Limbo tries to chase him down. In comes a Chakram, Fade Bolt. In the meantime, the tree is already dead. Brought down by the Shuriken. Legion though turns on his own BKB. Gets himself, the Chaos Knight pounces himself away. 1-for-1 trade so far. Relocate out for the IO. In comes an ice bath. Oh, catches fucking Matt on the edge there. Legion. Who would the one to come out there in front, but wasn't needed anymore. Jakiro already dead, getting the job done. And Mania still here. It's the last one around for his team. Still a fight taken by Duza. Slark just
dead.
Yeah. You're kind of dead. In comes a Pounce. Mechanism tries to help out, tries to tether himself away. Nope, dominating. There we go. Fata, of course, did not die there. He was able to get himself out. Bounty Hunter got himself out, but still. They got a timber saw, and they only took.
They finally pushed.
Yeah, they finally pushed as well.
I think it's actually really good, and the fact that they've taken the Viper BKB down. I mean, I don't really agree that. Oh, that's a bit of a misplay. Caprone putting down the ice path too early. Oh, nice BKB.
Yeah. Oh,
God,
Caprone.
So good.
Caprone already dead. That's a track kill. 2 seconds stun up on Timber saw. Timber chains himself away for now. Legion still hanging around there just in case his teammate need him. Mechanism helping out as well. Astral Imprisonment there as well. They're going to try to go for him. CK. Pounce is already out. They don't want to go anymore. Limbo apparently did not get the memo. Goes down. In comes an Overgrowth. Unstable. Stealing it. Throwing it out in return. Still in there. Tries to run away again as well. As MIB will get picked off. There's no way for him to run from this one. And he'll indeed end up dropping. Triple kill for Miguel. All 3 kills. Track kills as well. And that's going to be 3 for 0. While keeping their 2-2.
Trying to die for Fata was a really big mistake there. And Quantic have these new BKBs that are much longer duration, like the Bounty Hunter that was his 10-second charge, the CK that was the 9-second charge. Yeah. I think trying to pursue that was a mistake. And especially because OD has been almost useless this game. He's like a walking mechanism. It's a 1 in 7 is the record for him at best. Were kills they didn't need to give away. Timbersaw, who had a 15 charge Bloodstone, is down to 4 charges.
Oh.
I think Quantic definitely going to be very happy with what I don't really understand that relocate, but
he Strokes continued running and broke the tether. He tried to relocate to try and catch someone that was trying to run away. There could have been a reality drift perhaps, but maybe the relocate positioning was slightly off as well. But oh well.
Yeah, this game to me is still about, it's basically a war of wills between Fata and Legion, well, Legion and Limbo really. And right now Fata is kind of winning. Like, you mentioned that he used BKB really early in a team fight, but like, the thing about it is most of their AoE damage is front-loaded, especially if you're focus firing Timbersaw. Once the Timbersaw is down, you need to worry about magic damage and stuns a lot less, because OD is going to do almost nothing. So if you just front load that BKB, it's actually usually the correct choice. And in that fight, if they land the leap on him versus if they don't, like, he's able to just use the BKB in a very smart way, reposition, and they just punish very heavily. I mean, now there's an Aegis on him, and Miguel just got a full Vlad's from their last 3 kills, and the Roche. I don't know. It's a very, very, very difficult situation for Duza.
Yeah, it's scary. They still have got all their outer towers up, of course, while Quantic only has one of them. So, in theory, Duza only needs to win only a few more fights before they can get them done, but they have to be careful not to give too much away while they fight, and that's of course a scary part. And we already saw MIB dropping down Ascenity's Eclipse earlier on, and it basically didn't do that much. And he needs to be able to contribute more than that.
Yeah. He has no real intelligence. The item he has that provides the most intelligence is Force Staff, right? Like, he's halfway to a Mystic Staff. Like, I don't know. And OD's had a rough game. He's doing substantially worse than Treant Protector, which is not where you want Outworld Devourer to be after you pick that hero. He had a tough lane. Bounty Hunter pressured him a lot, and he's been getting killed in teamfights easily. So it's not like it's easy. It's a very, very difficult scenario to be in. But if OD isn't contributing, at this point they can't really win teamfights. And the problem is that even if he is contributing, Quantic still have 2 high charge BKBs.
Take a look at the gold graph.
I kind of don't want to. Oh, it's pretty even.
It's very even. It's only sitting like a little bit behind the 0 mark in favor of Quantic, but the difference is barely anything. We have the experience graph slightly in favor of Duza, but that's of course due to the amount of kills. With the Bounty Hunter on your side, you can't really look too much on the kill score graph because, you know, kills are not even trades up against Bounty Hunter. We have a smoke up. 5 people smoked for Duza going into the dire jungle.
Yeah. They know that they need smokes to win this game at this point. They need to do something surprising and change the terms of the engagement. Because otherwise they're just going to fall. I feel that they will fall further behind. Viper, they still don't really have an answer to Viper. He can just make a new BKB eventually. Not the greatest flash farming hero in the world, but by no means a especially bad one. So, yeah, Duza don't find anybody. Quantic are all down here. Nice positioning from Quantic also. Very
nice. Feeling that maybe their own jungle is not safe enough. And of course the smoke runs out, so they have just showed themselves in the middle lane. And we are going to see Quantic trying to lay down some pressure here on the bottom tower. I think they will be happy to fight. They still have the Aegis.
Viper's a pretty good pusher. Nether Toxin does apply to buildings, although I think it does half damage, but he's able to push pretty quickly, especially after Manta, but even without it.
Yeah, right away, we have got almost the Heaven's Halberd ready up on the CK, and when that happens, Legion is gonna be the target for that one. He's not gonna be having that big of an impact anymore for a while, and this is gonna be a...
He does have a 9-second BKB.
Yeah, but he is kind of the target, like the only target for Quantic with that Heaven's Halberd at the moment, and so
Yes.
that's gonna hurt.
That's true. Yeah, I mean OD is a reasonable target as well, but again with the heavy charge BKBs, it's not as big of an impact. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is going to be an easy game for Duza to win. I don't think they're out of it necessarily. They will have to transition Slark into more of sort of an auto-attacking threat. The problem is you can't really go Butterfly because Viper won't even care if you do. Something we see Slarks go for sometimes is Abyssal.
Scotty's?
His attack speed, of course, until he gets a bunch of stacks is not fantastic, but just the ability to auto-bash as well as the ability to Abyssal stun someone might be useful this game. I mean, they will have to choose their next item soon. There's 4.1k sitting on Slark, there's 5.2k sitting on Viper. I mean, this has been a huge game for Fata. He's really been able to eke everything out of this hero, and just in general, I think this is something that, as they continue to play as a team, Quantic are probably going to have to solve to beat Tier 1 teams, but I feel like we watch this team, and whenever they win, it's because Fata has a huge game, and if he doesn't, they just have no chance, which is not that solid of a foundation. But he's having a huge game here.
He definitely is having that. Whoa. That's German. Sorry.
Sure is.
Oh, Capron in some trouble. Ice Path still hits upon Miguel, but I don't think it matters all that much. Force up to the low ground, that's still there. Whoa, mid lane, Limbo in some trouble. Track still goes up. He is dead. That's a track kill. 1 kill added for Quantic. And Capron running for his life via the high ground should be safe. His force staff, of course, he's gonna be happy with that. Only 1 kill for Quantic in the end.
But it's on the Timber Saw, and
yeah.
His Bloodstone is down to 2 charges. So it's barely giving a benefit at this point.
Yeah, oh, and they find still MIB. Why was he still there? Ice Path helps him out. Force step forward mechanism as well. Capron just saves his teammate, and down goes the IO. Slark able to pick him up. Astral Imprisonment. The BKB turned on by that Chaos Knight. He's still going to take up the tower, though. They're still going to go for him. They're still going to get him. Viper with the kill in the end. Runs into the Ice Path. Gets himself back out again, though, with the help of Living Armor. And they go for a tier 2 tower. And right now, Quantic, even without an IO, they're very strong. And they can actually maybe decide to push up high ground, even though Limbo comes back in a second again. Oh, and he TP's right back in. Ice Path misses. They want to try and take this. They want to try and force out a fight, perhaps. Legion already there. TP out for fucking Matt. Behind the tree line. Pun intended.
Yeah. I mean, there was no reason for Quantic to pressure that any harder. It would have been an unnecessary chance to take when they're already more or less in control of the game. And they don't have the Aegis for Fata anymore, so... If they had it, yes, because once he has Butterfly delivered to himself with Aegis, yeah, push up. But because the Aegis expired, they didn't wait for the Butterfly, they instead elected to just walk away. And now it's a matter of, yeah, how do you kill Viper with Butterfly, MKB, BKB? It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, especially when he's... Well, I mean, Slark is level 21, so maybe I'm underrating the potential of that. You can see that he was waiting to see what Fata went, and now that he sees that Fata went Butterfly, I suspect Slark directly goes into MKB for himself.
That would be a good choice. Just to make sure that they can at least still hit Fata, even though they might not be able to bring him down fast enough, but just having a chance is, of course, going to be needed for that. Since the last time we looked at the gold graph, by the way, it is a steep line down in favor of Quantic, as we have got a 4-staff stun. Oh, unstable, in some trouble here. Already gets tracked up. He'll go down. Bounty Hunter with a kill. Sanity's Eclipse doesn't do that much. MIB still getting stunned up there. Red crosses all over the place. MIB 4-staffing himself out. Trex goes up on Capron. Capron will be the target for Miguel, and still also Fata trying to get some kills in there, as we do still have Chaos Knight dropping. Legion just not able to put out the damage anymore. Capron will be living. Limbo giving enough of a threat for Fata to back off. Fucking Matt makes himself invisible right next to Sentry Wars, but they don't focus him anyway. Miguel, here he goes down. Legion still to make it happen. Limbo, does he have a way to get across, to get to the other side? He gets help by Legion, and he gets towards the other side. Legion sacrificed himself for that one. Timbersaw, the only one to get away from Duza. Quantic, very long drawn out fight, but in this fight I think we can clearly see that they are starting to get ahead all over, like overall, compared to Duza, like not just the Viper.
I mean, Slark just is a hero that he peters out, really. I don't think I agree with sacrificing Slark to save Timber there. I think Timber has a decent chance, like a 30 to 40% chance of getting out, even without Slark. And Slark cost himself the money for MKB with that, I think. So I don't really... Actually, maybe he just didn't have any unreliable gold even without that, so maybe not. But it's kind of an iffy choice in my opinion. And yeah, the main thing is just the BKBs, right? Like, Chaos Knight's BKB was the 7-second charge there. Bounty Hunters was the 8-second charge, and what can they do against a BKB team? OD throughout Sandy's Eclipse, it hit one person. It hit only Io. Just Outworld Devourer in this game is simply not a factor.
Not at all. I mean, the difference in net worth between right now the two highest of both teams is still around like 7k, which is a lot of difference, and you need to have that Slug snowball out of control. And he kind of started off okay, and then he went back to farming for his Shadow Blade, and it just took him too long, I think. And then he just fell off the map at some point. I mean, the fights were still okay, but there were trades, track kills helping Quantic out, and right now it's a matter for Duza to not fight 5-on-5 anymore. They can't win an even team fight. They need to make the odds in their favor somehow. Be that with smoke gangs or just picking people off when they're not aware or getting ages.
It's not gonna be pretty. Yeah, they need to force BKBs constantly until they're withered down on CK and on Bounty Hunter. Thing is, if you're losing fights and you're getting tracked, they can just buy new ones.
Ooh, wow, unstable. 2 hits, he's already so low. Gets himself out for now, still tracked though. In comes Mania. Mania really wanted to take Unstable, but he ends up suiciding for that one.
No, I think he meant to relocate. That's the second time that Sakshka hasn't come on a trip with Io.
Oh, BKB's aplenty. In comes an Ice Path. Still, what's up on the CK? Overgrowth there as well. Capron will be the first target. Already picked off. Looking for more. Phantasm helping out. Limbo gets a 2-second stun. Look at that damage. Astral Imprisonment helps him out. So everybody focus on Legion and he'll get picked off. Still Viper going down for it. And Limbo able to get a double kill. Also kills a tree. Tree buys back though. And of course buyback for the Viper as well, because they do not want to lose this Aegis.
He whiffed his Timber Chain. I don't know if he'll get out. Yep,
he'll get himself out, but he rocks right into the hand of the bot back heroes, both of them being here. And down he goes, track kill added to the board. And surprisingly, the only one that lives is the one that got aggressed first. I mean, he's sitting on the same HP as he was before. He is unstable and he is Rubik. And this is a Roshan go on the way of Quantic, of course.
Yep. It's gonna be another Roshan, another Aegis, probably on Fate. Yeah, I can't imagine that they would put it out on anybody else. I liked his Helm of the Dominator choice, by the way. Get a little bit of lifesteal added on there. Although he did have the Alpha Wolf for the last couple of fights, which is just that damage aura is going to be fantastic for him. Now, the funny thing about Helm of the Dominator, of course, is if he's using his poison attack, it will not give him lifesteal. So we may see Fate electing mostly not to use the poison attack, simply to get the lifesteal, but he has so much damage that it might not matter if he's not even poison attack. He might just use it like every so often just for the slow, but otherwise just leave it off and just make sure that he's getting the lifesteal.
Yeah, the slow so far not really needed up against Duza. They seem very eager to fight, even though they haven't been winning them for a while. And I think that's something that they need to change. I mean, they haven't really been looking for the advantages. I mean, they just run in 5-on-5.
I don't even know if it's wrong, per se. Like, the fact is, they're never going to win a fight unless they waste a lot of these BKB charges, so it might be a thing where, that's why I said it's not going to be pretty, like, it might be a thing where they sort of have to put themselves in the meat grinder until they get a fight that they can win. But it's very chancy, I agree. They have essentially no buybacks to defend this high ground push. Yeah, they have buyback on OD, and honestly, I don't care if there's a buyback on OD. He's immaterial to the outcome of this game.
He is a utility hero with his Astral Imprisonment right now.
Yep, he has a pseudo-disable / defensive thing every 12 seconds for 4 seconds.
Yep.
I mean, this is... He got a bad lane phase, right? And the Bounty Hunter helped a lot by making sure that he had to stay, like, out of XP range a lot of the time. That's really the cleverness of this Bounty Hunter pick. Like, it gave Quantic just that little edge of mobility to maintain in the mid-game and give Fate a little bit of room to get that early BKB. It was two things, like the presence of Bounty Hunter and the early BKB for Viper just completely tore this game open for Quantic and really gave them room to not just falter when Duza's lineup was strong. But we're now like 20 minutes past where Duza's lineup is strong.
Yeah, and this Viper is completely out of control. There's a small chance that Duza can still come back from this, of course. I mean, they still have got some fighting potential in them, and if they are able to bait some BKBs out and go in after, they're still going to have a strong chance.
Yeah,
but Quantic looking on the up end. Oh, maybe this isn't a chance for them. Telekinesis still low ground. Viper will be targeted. He still has the Aegis, of course, will be used. Down goes MIB, perhaps. Still 2 seconds stun. Up to the high ground they go. Another 4-step away. Astral Imprisonment will help out. Viper back in this. Wants to go for Limbo in the meantime, who gets Reality Rift that they really want to take Timber Chain away for now. Miguel, he'll be the one ending up dropping. Rubik already down as well, but Rubik was able to buy back. Viper goes down for the second time. Slark able to pick him up, and this is a fight that Duza looks to be ahead of. It is Quantic that back off. TP out from the tree. Mania runs himself away from the fight. He is still here though, and he will be found, and he will be killed. And only 2 heroes left alive. Legion with a triple kill. 3 back home as CK just running for it.
One tiny thing that Legion does that I really like, that I think is a good tip to anybody seeking to pub this hero. Apparently, somebody in Twitch chat mentioned apparently Legion, this is his most played hero in pubs. And you can see the difference. Like, this is a very well-run Slark. Like I was saying, like a lot of teams briefly thought Slark was like a cool hero, and then they gave up because they were like, yeah, fuck this hero. But he actually is pretty strong. Of course, 46 minutes is not a time when you want him, but I was going to say, every time he chases Mania, what he does is he primes a melee attack first to make sure he gets the extra Shadow Blade damage, and then he leaps with the full knowledge that if you just landed a melee, your leap is guaranteed to land. Like, you won't miss. Anyone who's ever played Slark knows the feeling when you're like 5 degrees off from your leap,
Yeah.
and you just completely whiff it. Every time Legion chases Mania, he ensures 100% that the leap will land by using the extra Shadow Blade damage, which is what you would want to do anyway.
Yeah, and they take the last outer tower for it. So, you know, the map in theory is even. The kill score in theory is even. It's 43 to 40. Only 3 kills difference.
Yeah, well, that was a really good defense.
It was. It definitely was. And of course, important, Legion got himself the gem off of that. So Bounty Hunter no longer able to come in from behind. If they want to, Nature's Guys no longer an escape or initiation for fucking mad. And we might see them trying to go here. Yes, they do. For step forward, track already going up there. In comes a BKB for Miguel. Goes for Capron, but Capron... 4-7 to safety. Ice Path, Necropie already used. Miguel will still be able to pick him up though. Limbo caught out. Limbo going down. Bounty Hunter still goes down to the Timber Saw, but I don't think it matters all that much. MIB goes down. Unstable tries to get himself away, but will end up going down as well with only 1 hero left alive, and he is just running himself away. It is Legion on his Slark. Yep. 0 for 4 in favor of Quantic.
Did Bounty Hunter not die? I'm pretty sure Bounty Hunter died.
Yeah, you're right, it's 40, yeah, Bounty Hunter did die, but he bought back.
Yeah, he bought back, but yeah, that might be it, actually. The last fight for Duza went so well because they were able to use terrain to their advantage. They were able to use the unique area around the Radiant, like, they used this cutoff and this cutoff to make sure that Quantic were sort of split along these really weird axes and win the fight that way. When you're fighting on open ground, they have none of that terrain to be able to make advantage of, and in a straight-up fight, especially when Quantic just masses up BKBs, they have no chance, and you just saw how they got torn apart in the open ground battle. So maybe they weren't ready to take that just yet, but maybe they felt a little desperate, as they did feel that they were falling way behind. In the end, yeah, I mean, in the battle of Fata versus World, Fata wins again.
Oh, Legion track killed within seconds. He buys back though. We'll try to help, still trying to take this fight because this might be their last. Limbo gets saved by Nice Path coming off from Capron's Jakiro. In comes BKB's trying to help out. Sanity's Eclipse doesn't really end up doing that much. Fada still in this with the overcharge and getting himself back to life with the Satanic. Limbo chasing down Mania, but it won't be possible. Double kill for Fada, who goes up on Unstable. 1 more hit, gets himself a triple kill. Looking for an ultra kill, looking for Capron. He turns on his BKB again, goes for Legion, gets himself an ultra kill. This might be a rampage, or will he kill himself on Limbo's Blade Meal? No, he won't. No, he won't. He'll get a rampage. He might get a double rampage. Limbo, last one standing. Fada gets himself a double rampage. So close to dying. So, GG cold.
Yeah, Fata's kind of a good player. I mean, he had an amazing lane phase, amazing transitions, good item choices, good BKB timing. pretty much perfect play from this Viper, really getting a hero that we never see, and he got every ounce out of him. He dominated this game, and in the end, yeah, 28-4 for Fata. Insane. Insane game for him. I do think at some point Quantic are going to have backup plans other than, well, Fata will probably win against World, but it's good enough for this game. Well played to Duza, but not quite enough.
Indeed. We are slightly behind schedule as well, so we're just going to jump ourselves right into the next game for Star Series Star Ladder. Of course, you're watching day 16 of Star Series. Yep, that's where we're at right now. And we're going to watch Empire versus Ubels next. So stick around for that game. For game 2 of the 6 games that we're going to see today for Star Series Star Ladder. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. I just crashed my stream again. Awesome.